So community-based learning is a requirement for a lot of your classes. You'll go out into the community and you'll actually accompany the community. So as you go through your college career, you'll have several opportunities to do these community-based learning placements. So that'll automatically put you in the community surrounding Santa Clara University. Apart from that, there's also immersion trips where you go over the course of a break, like say winter break, summer, or spring break. I think there's like 9 or 10 immersion trips out right now. And you can go and accompany communities that way. And then there's also ongoing community service opportunities through the Santa Clara Community Action Program. So, they have pretty much every day of the week you can do, depending on what your interests are.
Okay. What kind of things are people mostly doing for these service opportunities? What kind of work?
One of the most popular ones is Project Open Hand, where they go up to the Tenderloin in San Francisco and they hand out sandwiches and work with people who have been affected by AIDS.
Oh, okay.
So that's one of the most popular ones. There's also the Julian Street Inn. They go and serve breakfast there.
All right.
There's Home Safe across the street, where people work with women who are in this shelter. It's across the street from Santa Clara. There's a lot of different types of opportunities.
Okay.
So there's some that are more based on like direct service, and there's some that are more accompaniment. I don't know if you've explored the difference between those two, but one involves more like kind of sitting down with people and letting them teach you.
Sure.
Whereas the direct service is like, okay, we're going to go and we're going to serve food, and we might not actually get a whole lot of interaction with the community. And then there's also some opportunities that are more like activism focused. So like you might actually be working for social change or, addressing issues that you see in the world.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah.
So, okay. And can you talk to me a little about like the Jesuit, the Jesuit factor at Santa Clara? I actually go to a Jesuit high school right now. I'm just kind of wondering how you guys do it there.
Yeah. Well, what's your name?
I'm Dan Hoffman, by the way.
Can you spell that for me?
Hoffmann.
Okay, and what was your first name?
Dan.
Oh, Dan. Okay, you're a little warbled.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
I'm not sure why. Maybe you have a life case.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm in a library right now. Might be just bad connection.
Oh, okay. No, my brother has a life case on his iPhone.
Yeah. Yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, it kind of makes his phone not sound quite as crisp.
Oh, okay.
Well, so we have 40 Jesuits who live on campus.
Okay.
So they're around. You'll have Jesuits as professors in classes. They preside at the masses on Sunday at the mission. They kind of alternate. We don't have one Jesuit who does all the masses. They kind of alternate through all the different masses. So you get a variety of homilies and perspectives, and Jesuits from around the world, which is neat.
Neat.
In terms of like Ignatian spirituality, it's all over the place. I'm not sure you can do much on campus and not find it. There's,
sure.
Opportunities for vocational discernment. There's the university itself is really firmly rooted in working for justice and social change. So the way the university is structured itself is it's trying to be as sustainable as possible, and that's sustainability in kind of all aspects of this of the term sustainability.
Sure.
We're talking about sustainability of human resources. We're not just talking about the earth.
Of course, yeah.
Sustainability of human resources and how do we sustain ourselves? So, how do you sustain the spirit, body, the mind? So all of those things are here, well and alive.
Okay.
I'm
sorry.
Is there anything in particular you're wondering about? Because it's kind of broad.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm sorry to be so general. I mean, I was kind of talking more like how does that factor into your classes? Like, what kind of requirements are there? I'm sorry, can you hear me now, or is it just...
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not the best with the academics.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
So I might not be the best person to talk to, because I mainly work with students one-on-one, like in a kind of a pastoral staff setting, so I don't do a lot with academics, but I do know that there are required religious studies courses. They don't necessarily have to be Catholic courses. I mean, they can be if you want, but there's Buddhism, there's Islam, there's religions of the book, there's ways of understanding religion, theology of marriage, there's all kinds of different, theology of death, there's all kinds of different courses you can take for your religion. And I would say that the way that the core curriculum is structured too is around the values of Santa Clara. Like, they're really trying to give you a holistic education, and you're going to get through the different pathways, which I know, like, a lot of students kind of grumble about the pathways because they're a lot of work.
Sure.
They're kind of hard to complete, but they're going to give you a really holistic experience of the community around you and the people you're walking with, just as your classmates. So,
yeah, okay. All right, well, I don't have any more questions specifically. Is there anything else you can think of that I should know?
Well, so are you for sure coming to Santa Clara next year?
No, not for sure yet.
Oh, okay. So where else are you looking?
I'm looking also at Tulane down in New Orleans and U of I and Wisconsin. So kind of a strange range of schools there, but.
Okay. Are you from Chicago?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
So yeah, I go to Loyola Academy. It's in northern Chicago.
Okay. I heard the accent.
Really?
I noticed the Chicago accent. I said I think he might be from Sacramento, but I'm pretty sure he's from Chicago.
I've never gotten that before, but I'll take it as a compliment.
Well, when you first called, I was thinking, when you say you're from a Jesuit school, I was thinking Jesuit High in Sacramento. But that's just where my mind went first.
Gotcha. Yeah, sure. All right.
And you know what? Like, really, with your college education, if you're willing to put the work into it and put yourself out there and get yourself opportunities to grow, you're not going to go wrong with any education.
That's what everyone says, and I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, I mean they're all, you'll get a good education at any of those institutions.
By the way, I never got your name. I never asked. Oh, okay. Nice talking to you. Okay, doke. Well, thank you very much, Matt Smith. I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hope to see you in the fall, Dan.
Thanks a bunch. Have a good one.
All right, take care.
In terms of assessing Santa Clara's religious community, first off, for local service within the community, I would give Santa Clara an A based on this interview because they have, as he talked about, the community-based learning opportunities, and he talked about a bunch of specific programs that are all available to students very easily. Secondly, the next topic, kind of a broad, more immersed service that I was interested in, service trips. He also mentioned I would probably give them maybe an A- in that. He said there was about 9 or 10 options for these kind of more extended service opportunities, which is a decent amount, but there could be more variety, I think. Third, in terms of how accessible the service is, I would give them an A. It seemed like the service opportunities were extremely accessible. As he said, a lot of the community-based learning or community-based service opportunities, are available every day. So it seems like it's really easy to fit your schedule. Next, the religious ed classes. He talked about, Jesuits teaching in the classroom, and core requirements, not just Christian classes, but all types of classes, which sounded interesting. So I'd give them an A in that as well. Lastly was the how much the service really mattered, kind of. So a sense of how, is what I'm doing for service making a difference. So in terms of that, for how much the service really matters, how big of a difference it's making, I'd also give them probably an A. He didn't go into great detail, but from what I gathered, it seemed like they do a good job of actually kind of connecting the service you do to things that are important or that you find important. He talked about specific programs, like the Home Safe program and Project Open Hands, which address very specific issues in communities, and kind of, give you a sense of actually doing something that really is making a difference. So, yeah, I'd give them an A there as well.